Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where last episode the game ended, but the game goes on. We have been saying for a while now we're going to be playing beyond the end of the game, and that is true. We're going to keep going until it feels like we shouldn't anymore, and that's probably around the time we finish out the tech tree or something like that. We're a ways away from it, to be honest. So we'll probably play this for another 10, 15 years, something like that. It'll go a little bit into the Hearts of Iron time period, but that's fine. That's absolutely okay. I'm having a good time. So that's all we need, really. We've got Korea taken over here, and how's that doing on its turmoil? It's getting a lot better. Cool. So that is good. We've got no major problems over there. I do want to think about getting coal mines in non-Sakhalin and Hokkaido locations. So that's definitely something to think about. We've got these government administrations queued up right now, and then all these barracks. I do want to get the government administrations done basically immediately. What is this? The Imperial Rule Party would get momentum. Yeah, I would rather not have this railway building throughput. That's mostly what I'm thinking about here. The momentum is okay because the shogunate are not involved. The Constitutional Reform Party is the core issue here, but the Imperial Way Party is actually winning by a significant margin right now, and that's good. We would be okay with the samurai winning. Now, we need to, of course, stay at peace right now until the Honorable Restoration finishes, most likely. Mostly because our infamy is super duper high, although it's 76.9 now. It has dropped a decent amount. So that's okay for the moment. We are running a deficit right now. We've got some standard of living issues at the moment, and I would like to deal with our interest issues, but really getting these government administrations done is the biggest thing. So we've got a big negative in our infrastructure in Chubu. This is because of that throughput. And how long does that last? From Stressed Rail Network, yes. There's going to be a modifier in here somewhere. Military research speed. I have no idea where it's going to be, but it's definitely in here somewhere. Working on the Cultural Rift, yeah, that's going to be gone in 8 months. But Chubu is going to be problematic for a bit here. So we should definitely think about a government reform here. Actually, we're as good as we're going to get without getting the shogunate in. In fact, we're just as good as we're going to get. So this is what we've got right now. Colonial exploitation is going to be brought down to no colonial affairs for the moment, and that's completely okay. This deficit is going to continue to be worked through for a little bit here. We need to get these government administrations finished. I kind of want to move up some of these that do not currently have any reduction of efficiency so that we have more time for some of this to be worked through. So that'll be okay for now. We're probably going to stay focused on the law here, or maybe we just say corruption is a tool like any other. Are we okay with giving up the authority? We're at 309 right now. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll give up that authority. We're at 240. That does mean that we could put in a consumption tax on something like glass, which would bring us back positive. I'm also interested in putting a consumption tax on fine art, and maybe on sugar, but that would earn us almost nothing. I would very much like to drop our taxes here. Where are our funds currently going? Well, there's a lot of welfare payments right now. That's something that definitely needs to be worked on. Military wages, that's expected. Goods for military buildings. So ammunition is pretty expensive right now, as is paper. So we should think about building some munitions plants. Probably not in Chubu, since they've got that big infrastructure issue, but perhaps in Kansai. So this would need to gain 29 to hit economy of scale cap. We can do that. And then there's also paper mills. So we could build that in Kansai as well. So that would end up being plus 19 here. Okay, so something along the lines of this. We're going to get these building first. I'll get these government administrations done first. But these down here, there's reduced construction efficiency in each of these. So I'm okay with delaying this somewhat so that we don't have that reduced construction efficiency. That sounds good to me. And we're not going to be involved in any wars for a little bit here. We're letting our infamy die down, and we want to fight probably China again, ultimately. But maybe Russia would be interesting, too. We could probably beat Russia. We're currently number 5 in the world, but that is with us sacking our government wages right now. If we're not planning on fighting, we should turn down our military wages for the moment. That's going to make the samurai a little upset, but that will save us a decent amount of money, and that might allow us to start the downscaling of our taxes, which would be really good. For now, we're just paying off the debt with it. That's also okay. So for now, that's fine. I'm not too concerned about the debt, to be honest. It's good that we're paying it down, but it's not a huge deal. So these paper mills getting done is going to be a relatively big deal. And then the munitions plants, and then these government administrations. Then we can start thinking about things like coal, which is currently considered expensive. But I would like to get these done first. So let's let that get underway. That'll be absolutely fine for the moment. And yeah, we've got all these generals over here. We're going to have some unemployment here. No doubt about that. About 8-ish million. Yeah, like 8.5 million. That's a fair amount of unemployment. No doubt about that. We need to get that under control. And the way to do that, of course, is via construction. So we're going to get that all underway. We're going to get all of these jobs built. Now, I do want, after we get these done, I do want to get going on coal mines. And iron mines, and lead mines, and sulfur mines. I think logging camps are maybe the best thing to prioritize here, perhaps. Whaling stations aren't great at this moment. We are seeing some negative infrastructure in some locations, so I want to take a look at that. Okay. For the time being, we can maybe assume that, well, we can see 5% employees. This railway is not saying what its employment is, because there's literally no one there. Okay, so I think this is mostly employee related, to be honest. Although this one is full, so we should build 2 railways here. In Western Australia, this is at 61%. I'm going to build 1 here. In Northern Territory, this is at 2%. That needs people. In Victoria, there's no one working here, so that doesn't need anything. We're at 53% here. We'll definitely get that. In Queensland, we're at 5%, so we need people there. So all we need here is these 3 railways, and I think that'll be absolutely fine for right now. So confusion and delay, we hit another stall here. Okay. Well, this is fine for the moment. Sure. We're definitely seeing our loyalists dropping. This is due to our standard of living. Our standard of living is not ideal at all right now, and that definitely does need to get dealt with. So we're going to get these paper mills concluded soon enough. Our government administrations that we had queued up here did finish, so that looks good. How much would it cost us to drop 1 level of taxes? 206K? Noted. Definitely noted. So we are lacking some taxes here. That would help matters, but it wouldn't necessarily solve them. Okay. That's fine for right now. We just need construction at this moment. So that'll be completely okay. People can migrate around now and move into some of these jobs, which would be good. What we really want to see, though, is we want to see our port and our railways here. We want to see these actually properly employing people. That would be ideal. For now, we're not seeing that. And is the same thing happening down in Australia, I wonder? Quite possibly. Migration attraction here is medium in Northern Territory. That does make some sense. We don't have a lot going on there right now. So for now, that's reasonably fine. I want to get these paper mills finished and the munitions plants done. That's a relatively high priority here. The munitions plants are going to be a little bit longer, no doubt about that, but our construction efficiency is improving over in Korea, so that's all looking fine for the moment. No major issues there. And our paper mills are going to be done in about 9 weeks. So that will drop the price of paper somewhat. Yeah, we can see here it's definitely started to tick downward a bit. As it starts to come back up. What is the current price of paper? We can go into here and sort by market price. Hardwood is pretty high up there. Wood is pretty high up there. Current price of paper is actually minus 24%, so that's good enough. We don't need additional paper production. That's clear. We'll get minus 5% authority here. I guess that's fine. It's not great, but we'll take it. So these paper mills are definitely going to be enough. I think that we do need wood at this point. Hey, we go up to consideration. I like it. So because we need wood, we can definitely start building logging camps in our Korean locations that don't already have them. I'm going to queue these up at the top of the queue. And yes, it's negative construction efficiency. That is understood. What I want to do here is I want to move up the munitions plants. So something like this, and then these paper mills and railways. So functionally, the logging camps get inserted between the munitions plants and the government administrations. They shouldn't take all that long to construct, and we'll just get that underway as soon as these munitions plants are a little bit further along. So that'll be okay for now. Getting some level of munitions plants would probably be good. Although I should check the actual cost of ammunition at this moment, shouldn't I? What is the cost of ammunition right now? -4? Okay. In that case, any munitions plants that have not already started construction are going to get canceled. I feel like we don't need these, but if they've already been started, we'll get them finished. We'll need them eventually, so this will be fine. We'll cancel a couple of them, but that'll still be okay. The Honorable Restoration is going to be finishing soon. I'm assuming we can no longer get achievements, right? Yeah, achievements are not available because we're beyond the end of the game. That's expected. So if there's an achievement tied to this, we won't get it, but that's fine. I don't really care too much about achievements. It's all a very minor thing to me. So that's completely okay. At this point, as far as munitions plants go, we're 27 weeks away from getting them fully finished. But we're definitely starting construction on the wood production, and that's very good. So what other issues do we have here? Market access in Chubu, in Gwangbuk, in Northern Territory, and in Yangho. All of that is reasonably expected. Unemployment is at 6.81 million. Peasants are at 2.15 million. So that definitely needs some work there. Getting these munitions plants done will help matters. But what we really need is to get the logging camps done and then the government administrations done. And that's going to be a pretty big deal. So for now, that's fine. And then we'll get all of those military buildings done eventually. But we really do want to get these resources being harvested, particularly the coal. Coal is expensive, and that would be good. Iron would be another good thing for us to harvest, for sure. But I don't think we prioritize that just yet. So the Honorable Restoration is going to be happening this next month tick. Is that on this week tick? I believe so. Okay. Perfect. The shogunate has fallen from power, and the emperor has restored the political primacy of the monarchy. This momentous occasion marks the end of centuries of shogunate rule in Japan, and heralds a new era of modernization and reform. The emperor must choose his political allies carefully. The former shogun bows with respect and shame as he hands over his residence and seat of power, the mighty Edo Castle, to the restored emperor. Renovations are set to begin at once. The old castle is to be replaced by a glorious imperial palace. Though the exterior will appear much the same as the former imperial residence in Kyoto, the emperor plans to combine Japan's rich decorative traditions with strange Western fashions. A metaphor, perhaps, for the future of Japan. So we can favor the industrialists, or we can favor the intelligentsia, and I think that's the way to go here. Looks good. So at this point, we need to complete 3 restoration journal entries, and we've already done 2 of them, apparently. Retire the samurai. Okay, so the samurai need to not be powerful and need to not be part of the government. Gotcha. So that'll trigger the event, the Fall of the Samurai. Cool. So currently, our government is unacceptable 31. So if we were to reform this, the best we could do would be unacceptable 15 without the samurai. We might need to wait until after an election. We'll see. We're working on enacting no colonial affairs, and that'll be... Did the game just crash? The game just crashed. I guess we're going to go back to the autosave. See you guys in just a moment. Okay, so here we are with the game restarted. We're like 1 day before where we were previously. So that seems reasonably fine. We know that we chose the intelligentsia here, and there we go. Now we can proceed. So that's absolutely fine. The autosave was very, very close indeed. So no actual problem there. I don't know what caused that crash, but sure. We're going to get this railway in Western Australia finished, and our munitions plants are getting very close to done here. So that's all looking good. 3 weeks until the vast majority of them are done, then we'll just have these additional 3, and that seems absolutely okay. So we're going to finish up these logging camps, but they are going to be slower construction. Things are getting a lot better in Korea for the construction efficiency, though. No doubt about that. So we're going to get these government administrations done soon enough. And the munitions plants are going to be mostly completed now. Beautiful. So we're getting no colonial affairs. That'll happen eventually. I'm just kind of like reviewing and trying to figure out what could have caused that crash, because I don't know what it could have been. Maybe some sort of a event trigger or something, but it doesn't seem to have recurred, so hopefully that will continue to be the case. We do need to get these logging plants completed. Yes, logging plants is the correct term. And I would love to get some of these additional resource constructions, particularly coal mines, underway here. I do, however, think that we should get these unrealized taxes under control. Huge amount of that, the majority of it, in fact, is due to tax waste from our radicalism. The radicalism is high because our taxes are high, and we need to handle that. That's for sure. Just dropping our taxes will be a very big deal on that front. Now, we could do it preemptively. We would be running a deficit. I'm not sure if we want to do that or not. I'm thinking about it. And of course, we've got standard of living issues. That's all pretty much related to taxes, to be honest. So that's fine for the moment. We do definitely need to drop our taxes. It's a very high priority. There's the electric arc process being unlocked. That's actually very good for us. So let's go down to the steel mills here and go to the electric arc process. That will be a negative balance right now due to increased iron consumption and increased electrical consumption. That said, I think that we have a fair number of power plants that can be... Let's see, that's 100% and 100%. Okay, so we don't have headroom there. We might have some iron mining headroom, potentially. We can check in on that. So let's see here. In Tohoku, 100%. Kanto, 100%, 100%. This, in South Australia, I think doesn't have any people. In Hokkaido, same thing there. And 100% in Yeongso. Okay. So, yeah, we could definitely do some work there. Electricity has an input goods shortage at this moment. So, to that end, I'm going to put in... Oh, this is going to be in Chubu. Why is the infrastructure balance in Chubu so low? Or actually, in Kansai, why is it so low? In Chubu, it's because of that event. What's going on in Kansai, though? That's interesting. Okay. What is going on in Kansai? I guess it just needs a bunch of infrastructure? Yeah, use the 1641. Okay, well, we can definitely put some infrastructure in here. This will be 20 infrastructure each. So this means that we need, like, 13 in Kansai. Remarkable. Are we currently using electricity in our railways? No, we are not. So it can't be that. Fascinating. Well, we definitely do want to get some more electricity production regardless. So let's hop into our industry here. Let's get some power plants going in Chubu as well. I want to get this to plus 31 for economy of scale. I don't necessarily want this in this order. So we're going to prioritize logging camps, munition plants, and railways. So it's going to be something like that. We'll get those underway, and then we'll start working on the power plants. The logging camps do use power, so this electricity input goods shortage is going to be a little painful for us, but that's okay for the time being. We'll just get that done. The logging camps won't take too long to build, and we should be, yeah, we're already working on power plants at this point, so that sounds reasonably good. These railways in Kansai apparently are necessary. I don't think they should be, but whatever. We now have no colonial affairs, so that's fine. National militia? I really don't want to do national militia. I really don't want to do national militia. There's a revolution for it. Chubu, Tohoku, Chugoku, Kyushu, and Shikoku. I really don't want to do this. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. So how do we want to go about handling that? Well, the trade unions are currently at -3 in terms of approval. We would very much like to do something about our government situation. Unfortunately, we really need an election. Like, really badly. I suppose we could do intelligentsia and landowners here. That keeps us above 25. So that's a thing. Ooh, large numbers of Min people are migrating from China to Chugoku. That's actually a good thing. That's a very, very good thing. So here in Chugoku, we're going to have a large number of migration. Yeah, 29K. I like it. So that population is going to start shooting upward. Now we're at -184K right now. I'm going to cut our taxes, actually, believe it or not. I'm going to cut our taxes here because we really do need to have standard of living start coming up. Like, really badly. Particularly in Chubu. And in Kansai. Our market access is a problem. And I really don't want to do national militia. Like, really badly. I incredibly badly do not want to put in national militia. So we're not going to do that. We will fight to prevent that from happening. For now, we're working on these railways and these power plants. We're about 10 weeks out there. We've got the street side standoff here. Our men are professionals. They can maintain discipline. Cool. So we're running a big deficit right now. That's absolutely the case. We're going to need to deal with our construction, I think. We have some extra construction up here in Korea that we probably shouldn't have, ultimately. But I think for right now, it's fine. We need to get this turned around and under control. That's the goal, anyway. So we're currently researching NCO training. These guys have had their radicalism drop, and radicalism is definitely going down just from reducing taxes. So reducing taxes is necessary here, and I've been saying that for a while. Unfortunately, we've just not been in a great position for it. 5% of servicemen become more radical? I don't think we can afford that. I don't think we can afford that at all. Okay, so identification documents have been unlocked, giving us additional taxation capacity. That's a convenient thing. So in that case, I'm going to go through here and get rid of any of the government administrations that we have queued up here that do not have any progress, because I want to recheck what we're going to need here. So for the moment, this is all reasonably fine. We're going to get those eliminated from the list. Looks good. This guy will join the movement to enact national militia. No thank you, bud. No thank you. We could grant him a command. He'll remain an agitator, but he'll gain the ability to lead armies as a general, with their commander rank affecting the cloud of the trade unions. Or we could exile him, and I think that we'd probably do this. Okay, so we're going to exile him. That will generate more radicalism, but that's expected. Pause without a rebel. So who is this guy? He's from the intelligentsia, and he supports the movement to enact total separation. To be honest, it's fine. I don't mind it. We could enact total separation. The intelligentsia would support it. Would anyone be super angry about it? The Buddhists would be a little bit angry. Let's go. So we're going to start working on that. We do see a bunch more parties immediately join this revolution. That's very rude of them. But the radicalism remains about the same. So for the moment, that's reasonably fine. The industrialists are steaming. We don't want them to become insurrectionary, that's for sure. We can settle for this deal. That's okay. The industrialists are now powerful. That's fine. Students of the Blade, huh? So we could definitely revoke the samurai sword rights. That would make them kind of upset. But it would reduce their political strength. Do it. Yeah, it's going to get a bunch more radicalism. Actually, that's not that bad. Okay, seems reasonably fine for the moment. For the moment. We're going to have some issues with our finances right now, but the interest is not going to eat us alive now that we're recognized, so I think that's reasonably okay. We could think about cutting our welfare payments. That is a theoretical option here. Cutting down to here, but I don't think that that's great when we currently have a standard of living issue. So for now, I think that we don't do that. We're working on power plants right now. Those are actually close to being fully worked on. So that seems reasonably fine. What is expensive right now? I mean, services are. Hang on. Let's sort this correctly. Electricity, then sugar, then iron, then hardwood, then coal. Okay, so iron is actually more expensive than coal right now. Sounds good. What do we got here? Samurai would get interest group political strength. I would rather not. Let's actually have minus 5% political movement radicalism. That sounds good. No problem whatsoever there. I definitely do want to get these iron and coal mines built. Those are going to be very useful for us. But for the time being, let's get this electricity shortage dealt with. That's step one here. So we're going to get a lot of these built soon. We're going to start actually getting them done next week, as of now. And so that looks good. No problem there. And we've got 2 additional power plants in the queue behind this. Okay. Sounds fine. We're seeing the radicalism of this revolution continue to drop. That's a very good sign. Can we get rid of this this dissident here? No, it's on cooldown. Okay. 4 years. That's a spicy one. Sure. So these power plants are going to finish up, no doubt about that, and we're starting to work on these government administrations again. They shouldn't take too long to get done. We canceled a bunch of them, so we're going to re-evaluate those once those get finished up. That all looks fine for now. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to see what ends up happening with this revolution. I really don't want to enact national militia. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.